For the longest time, I believed I was an aggressive investor. I was comfortable with equity, I liked volatility, I thought I could handle market swings. I genuinely believed that market ups and downs didn't bother me until the markets actually changed. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't even a balanced investor, I was far more conservative than I had assumed. And not knowing that about myself when I started investing actually cost me. Because when markets changed, my behavior changed. And once behavior changes, decisions follow. That's why this question matters much more than people think. Are you a conservative investor, an aggressive one, someone who prefers a balanced approach, or someone who invests sector to sector or cycle to cycle? So in this video, let's take a quick investing personality test and figure out what type of investor you actually are. There's a good chance you might surprise yourself. Step 1. Let's begin with willingness. Instead of asking how much fall you can handle, ask a simpler and more practical question: what percentage of my portfolio am I comfortable keeping in equity? When I first thought about this, I confidently told myself I was comfortable with 70% equity exposure. That sounded right. I believed I could handle volatility. After all, equity builds long-term wealth, So I imagined a portfolio that was 70% in equity funds and 30% in debt or safer assets. In theory, that felt completely fine. You can do the same exercise. If your entire investment portfolio is, let's say, 10 lakh rupees, how much of that are you comfortable putting into equities? 7 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 3 lakhs, or whatever. This is willingness. It's your self-declared comfort level before markets test you. But remember, willingness is theoretical. It reflects how you see yourself, not necessarily how you behave. And it can change with changing market conditions. Now in step 2, we are going to test our appetite. Now let's bring structure into the picture. If you take risk tolerance or risk appetite tests online, many mutual fund websites offer them. They evaluate factors like your income stability, financial goals, time horizon, age, and behavioral tendencies. When I took these tests, the results surprised me. I was classified as a moderate investor. And what does moderate typically translate to in allocation terms? Roughly 50 to 60% equity exposure. That immediately created a gap. I believed I was comfortable with 70% equity. The test suggested 50 to 60% might be more appropriate. Now, these tests are not perfect. Free versions can be generic, paid ones are usually more detailed. Some give exact percentages, other gives categories you into risk buckets. But even generic results are useful because they introduce objectivity. They force you to look at your financial life and not just your confidence. So now we have two numbers. Willingness says 70% and appetite test suggests 50 to 60%. Already that's a meaningful difference. Now comes step 3, and that's about tolerance. Tolerance is not about what you say. It's not about what a test suggests. It's about how you behave when equity markets actually start falling. When markets corrected and equity portfolios started declining, I noticed something in myself. I was far more uncomfortable than I had expected. It wasn't about a 30% crash. Even smaller declines made me uneasy because 70% equity went. My overall portfolio was swinging more than I had liked. And that's when I realized something honestly uncomfortable. I would sleep better and make better decisions if my equity exposure was closer to 30 to 35%, not 70%, not even 50 to 60%, around 30 to 35%. Because at that level, even if equity corrected sharply, the overall portfolio movement felt manageable. That is tolerance. Tolerance is behavioral truth. You don't discover tolerance in a bull market. You discover it when markets fall and you see how you react. Whether you check your portfolio 10 times a day, whether you feel the urge to reduce the exposure, whether you start second guessing your plan. And that reaction gives you your real number. So, what is your real risk number? Now, here's the most important rule in this entire framework. Your real equity allocation should be the lowest of the three. The lowest among your willingness, which means what you think you can handle, your appetite, what structure test suggests you, and your tolerance, what your behavior proves. In my case, my willingness was 70% equity, appetite was 50 to 60% equity, and tolerance was for only 30 to 30% equity. The lowest number was 30 to 35%. That is the number I should have respected from the beginning, because when markets fall, tolerance overrides everything else. You don't build your portfolio based on your bravest versions. You build it based on your calmest and most honest version. Once you identify your true risk comfort zone, asset allocation becomes much easier. Here's a simple framework to think about equity allocation. The remaining portion can go into asset classes where you are comfortable: debt funds, fixed income, gold, or other stable instruments. This is not about maximizing return. This is about optimizing your returns for the risk you can assume. For example, if you are moderate and you force yourself into 80% equity because return looks attractive, the first major correction will push you out of the market. But if you build around 50% equity and 50% stability, you may actually stay invested for the longer period of time, and that staying power is what compounds wealth. Now let's quickly understand the mistakes that you need to avoid. One of the biggest mistakes people make is confusing willingness with tolerance. Just because you think you can handle a 30% fall does not mean you actually can when it happens. Another common mistake is taking a risk appetite test once and assuming that result defines you permanently. Life changes, income changes, responsibility changes. Your risk profiles can change too. A third mistake is copying someone else's allocation. Your friend might genuinely be comfortable with 80% equity. If you are not, trying to match them will only create stress. Another mistake is that many investors also increase equity exposure during bull market because everything feels safe. That is when willingness gets inflated. Then when markets correct, tolerance shows up. And finally, ignoring early signs of discomfort is costly. If a 15% fall makes you restless, that is information. Ignoring it and staying overexposed only increases the chances of panic decisions later. See, understanding your investing personality is not about labeling yourself, it's about building a structure you can actually stick with. Your real risk number is not the highest one, it's the most honest one. Because in the end, investing success doesn't come from being aggressive, it comes from being consistent. I hope you like this video. See you in the next one. Until then, happy investing.